Greetings. To know thyself at the deepest level is to know God. You see, our ancestors have all been saying, man, know thyself. But you have to know yourself at the deepest level. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I would like to share my experience with you. You see, from a little boy, I was very, very observant. And so I always wanted to know for myself, who am I and who is God? I didn't want someone to tell me who is God. I wanted to know for myself through experience. And also I wanted to know who am I. Okay. And that is what brings me to the universal question of life. That's how I realize that there's a question that everyone in this life will one day ask themselves. And the question will be, who am I? And when the answer comes, it must be I am. I am that. I am. Which is to say that you are whatever you believe yourself to be. Because as a man thinks, so is he. Let me simplify that for you. Okay. You see, everything that you're beholding on the outside, it is within. So everything is created twice. First in the mind, and then it's been expressed or reflect in this physical three-dimensional wall. So it's like this whole entire wall, it's a mirror, and you're beholding a reflection of yourself. So the rich man, the poor man, the beggar man, the thief, it is just one mind, but different arrangement of that one same mind. And because of the different arrangement of that one same mind, people are getting different results in their lives. Which brings me to the other law, which is the law of cause and effect. Which means you are the cause of everything that is happening in your life. Which means that you are the Lord and Master of your destiny. So there's no other master but yourself, which is your higher self, your God self, which is your creative and innovative self. So if you go against your creative, innovative self, then you will end up in self-doubt and self-hate. And when you end up in self-doubt and self-hate, you would become victim-minded in terms of you feel like you are a victim and that you in need of a savior. Because you will carry around judgment, guilt, shame, and condemnation because of how you were programmed by those who are before you. Like for example, if your parents had that kind of mindset, they would pass on that same kind of mindset to you. But if you really seek to know who you are in a real way, and you remain consistent seeking to know who you are, I can guarantee you when you find who you are, you will have found the phenomena of life. Because when you find who you are, you will discover that your real identity is actually your divinity. You're a divine being. You're having a human experience, and you have to live every moment of your life from the divine, which means that you have to live from the invisible world to express what you desire in the visible three-dimensional physical world. So there are two worlds. There is a physical three-dimensional physical world that you can contact by five senses. Okay, where you can see, taste, touch, and smell. And there's a world that you can only contact through the sixth sense. That is why you have to practice things like visualization, meditation, self-talk, conscious self-talk, and so on, conscious breathing, and so on. Okay, so when you have a sense of awareness, it is power. When you have a sense of consciousness, it is power, because you realize consciousness is the only reality, and that God in man is man's awareness of being. So with that kind of discovery, you would discover that true salvation is self-realization. That is why I'm saying to you, when you seek to really find yourself, and you really find yourself at the deepest core, you will find God. Because the truth of the matter is that you're born here in a state of amnesia, a state of forgetfulness. And all your life you're seeking to know who you are. And the deeper you go in seeking who you are, is the more thing would be revealed to you. Okay, the more thing you would discover for yourself. But in order for you to do that, you have to get out of conformity. Because the world system is set up in a way for you to conform. But you have to realize that the only how you could be transformed is by the renewing of your mind. So to renew your mind, you have to be willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind. So when you listen to someone like me, who would have preceded you in the awakening and who would have gone beyond humanity and would have come into my divinity, one who would have awakened out of the dream of life, you have to listen to that person and don't just accept the knowledge only, but you have to start to act upon the knowledge. Okay? Because it's only when you put action to the knowledge that it will become wisdom. It's the only time you will get the results and you'll prove it for yourself. So if every day you find a quiet place to be by yourself, where you could calm your mind down, where you could visualize, where you could concentrate, and you could monitor your thoughts throughout the day and so on, and you learn to go to bed every night with your desire being intact, and you fall asleep knowing and believing that that which you desire is already a finished work. If you do that night after night, I promise you that you will discover that the way you go to bed and the way you awake is what is shaping your entire life. And that will help you also to discover that you are a conscious and deliberate creator, and that there is no creator outside of you. There's no Lord and Master and Savior outside of you. Everything that you will ever seek is within you. So, do not seek the universe thinking that it is a vast expanse outside of you. Know that it is downloaded within you. And everything is an expression of you. Therefore, it is not just the things that you desire you're going to attract in your life, but you're going to attract that which you are. Because it must match the frequency. So what vibration and frequency you are on, you would match that vibration and frequency. So, for example, if you want to attract more money in your life, you have to raise your vibration and frequency at a level to attract the money that you would like to attract in your life. And to do that, you have to change your concept that you hold about money. You have to change your limiting beliefs and so on, and all the negative beliefs that you have about money, wealth, and all of these things. If you have negative thinking about the rich and so on, you have to change that or you wouldn't become one of them. Okay? So there's a lot of purification that have to take place in your life before you could come to the realization that you are God having a human experience. And when you come to that realization, those who haven't come to that realization, they will say blasphemy. They will think that you are crazy. They will think that you have lost your mind. But my brother and my sisters, I'm saying to you that you must accept who you are. And if you're not quite sure as yet, practice certain rituals in your life each and every day. Read good books and listen to self-realized people and do what they encourage you to do. And the time will come when you will have your awakened experience for yourself, just like I did. Okay, so there's no one who could convince me to believe in some entity outside of myself. No, I've gone too far. Okay, because I've reached even to the place where I would have given birth from the skull. That's why I know the greatest lie that have been ever fed to all of humanity is the Jesus and Mary story that have been interpreted to you as if it is literal and secular history, when it is the secret of a man giving birth. And you don't just give birth in the physical realm alone. You give birth in the psychological or mental realm, and also in the spiritual realm. So my brother, my sisters, if you grew up in a society where they convince you to believe in secular Christianity that's pointing you to look outwardly, you would realize that they are teaching you the book or the Bible on one level, which is just on the physical level only. But it must be understood on all three levels: the physical, the psychological, and mental, right? And the spiritual level. Because you are a triune being. You are physical, you are mental or psychological, and you are spiritual. Okay? So you have to be complete. And not until you meet someone who could interpret the book in a complete way to you, you'll never be able to live your life in a complete way. You live your life with a lot of contradiction if you hold to those limiting beliefs and those religious, superstitious beliefs. Okay? So let them go and learn to embrace your God self, your higher self. In other words, I'm saying learn to love yourself and believe in yourself. To love God is to love yourself. To believe in God is to believe in yourself. God have no eyes without your eyes. God have no nose without your nose. No mouth, no nothing. Okay? This is the house that God dwells. Your body is the temple of the living God. You are God in flesh. Okay? Having a human experience. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you also, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at Black Mad Guru. Also, you can get my books. They are all available on Amazon. The link is down below. You can check them out. More than 10 books. Also, if you like to book a one-on-one with me, you can book a one-on-one with me on an app. The link is down below, an app called Faithia. Or you can reach out to me by way of email and we can decide where we would like to have this one-on-one. We can do it on a Zoom, we can do it on a WhatsApp call, whatever you choose, okay, we can do it. Also, if you like to become part of my Patreon community, I'll definitely encourage you to do so and to, support this work. And I have a course on my page, and it is called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept, and that is for people who are willing to donate $20 or more. You have access to those videos. You can listen to them to help you in your spiritual journey. Okay, so my last encouragement to you is to make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below and let your intuition definitely lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace. Love you all. Out.